The Storm football team's trip to Decorah yielded a 27-17 win over Luther last weekend, and thanks to some help from our friends at Co knocking off Central, Simpson now controls its own destiny on the path to an American Rivers Conference championship. The next challenge, the red-hot Dubuque Spartans. We're joined now by head football coach Matt Jeter. Coach, trip to Decorah last weekend. You come back with a 27-17 win over Luther. Just talk about what transpired in that game.
Again, good, tough, gritty win. I told the guys all the time, anytime you get a conference win on the road, it's a good win. Went up 20-3 at halftime, and then they kind of clawed and fought back to make it a 20-17 game early in the fourth quarter. Offense responded to make it 27-17. Defense forced a forced fumble there and kind of seal the win for us. So again, proud of the guys, how we responded, and able to get a good road win against Luther.
I know you've talked about it kind of the last couple of weeks, had a tendency to let opponents get back in the game after building up a lead, but was really impressed with the way they responded. Like you said, the offense responded right away with a 5-play, 75-yard drive to punch it in and go ahead. The defense forces a 3-and-out, and then the offense went on that long 14-play drive to really just kind of eliminate any chance of them coming back.
Yeah, that was huge, Brian. The momentum shifted to their way. We needed offense to come back and respond, and I was really proud of those guys, how they responded. And then we needed the defense to step back up because there was still a lot of time left in the game, and we needed everybody to kind of help out there and do their job.
When you talk about that defensive effort, we know we put a lot of focus on that triple option that Luther runs. Held them to 175 yards rushing. That's the lowest amount that they've been held to in more than 3 years. What were you able to do defensively to really neutralize that attack?
Yeah, it all starts with our front four doing a great job against the offensive line and then our linebackers. So again, we talked about it last week, taking care of the dive, taking care of the quarterback, and their quarterback's a dynamic player, and he makes that offense go. So we need I think he had a lot of the yards, of the 175 rushing yards. He probably had most of them, but just to make sure make him one-dimensional and try to stop him, and we did a good job with that. And I thought the guys were really assignment sound for the most part. The thing about Luther this year, they're a little more dynamic, and they had the triple, and then they had the gun option triple and the passes off that. So, I was scratching my head a couple of times in the game just how to respond back to it, but we was able to kind of calm the guys down and respond back.
Had 3 big milestones were achieved on Saturday. 2 by your running back, Cam Bunting. He went over 1,000 yards rushing for the season. That's the second year in a row he's been able to do that. Went over 2,000 yards for his career. And your quarterback also went over 2,000 yards for the season. Talk about what those 2 guys, Tanner Krieger, the quarterback, and Cam Bunting, have meant to your team this year.
Yeah, well, Cam's been a staple, for our program since I've been here, especially the last 2 years. And I know he has some personal goals on himself, but, offensive line doing a great job blocking for him. And he's just a tough, hard-nosed. You're not going to tackle him one-on-one. He's always going to get those yards after contact, and he's just a tough, hard-nosed football player, kind of an old-school football player, if you would say. So really proud of him. And then Tanner, just each week he's getting better and better and better and better and really owning his craft and meeting with Coach Rohach and Coach Hoffman on a daily basis to make sure, he's dotting the I's and crossing the T's and all that aspects of the football game plan.
All right, and we look ahead to this week. Got a big one coming up. Dubuque's coming to town. It's senior day. There's a lot riding on this game. 2 of the 3 teams involved in the 3-way tie for first in the American Rivers Conference are going to do battle right behind us here on Saturday. What does this game mean to the program?
Yeah, it's huge. I think we put ourselves in position to play for a game like this. I think our standard of excellence that we talk about a football program and playing in big games, we want to be playing those games in October and November, and we put ourselves in position to do that. So, we're 5-1, Dubuque's 5-1, so, we're just looking at it as, hey, they're coming in, they're a very talented program, talented football team. They're on a hot streak right now. We're playing our best ball right now, so I can't wait to, I'm excited for our team. We're excited for our program to play a great game here in Buxton Stadium at 1 p.m.
The Spartans come in, you mentioned, one of the hotter teams in the conference, the hottest team in the conference as far as a winning streak is concerned. They've won 4 in a row. They're coming off of a game in which they put up over 600 yards of total offense against Nebraska Wesleyan. They've got a couple of good guys who can run the ball. They have a quarterback who threw for 6 touchdowns last week. What do you see out of the Spartans on their offensive side of the ball, and what do you have to do to try and slow them down defensively?
Yeah, great. Very explosive. I think they're probably the only team in our league that can score, anywhere on the field at any time, whether it's running the football or throwing the football. So you look at those guys each week, they have 80-yard touchdown, 70-yard touchdown pass, 65-yard touchdown pass, 79 touchdown run. So we got to stop the explosive plays, and we got to make sure we cup the football from top to bottom on the run, and then on defensive backfield we got to play top to bottom and not give up those big plays.
1997, you were a senior. Last time Simpson won a conference championship in football. Is this something that do you bring this up with the team at all? Because you look at it now, you're 2 weeks away. There's a clear path to a conference championship, and you truly do control your own destiny at this point.
Yeah. We talk as a program about our standard of excellence here. I very rarely talk about championships, but we put ourselves in a position this year to actually play for one. So I brought it up a little bit last night, and in 1997, half those guys weren't even born when I was a senior, so they don't even know anything about it. So, but I'm just proud of the guys to put themselves in position to buy in and to our vision and mission, our core values of the program over 3 years. I mean, this has been going on for a 3-year process for us, so I'm excited to go out there and play a meaningful game against Dubuque today and have opportunity to win a conference championship.
And lastly, how much more important is it knowing that it is senior day and you've been with this group for 3 of their 4 years here? What does this group of seniors mean to you and to the program overall, and how have they contributed to the upswing that we're on right now?
There's 28 seniors that we're going to celebrate, and I just tell you, I love them, and I'm proud of those guys. A lot of those guys came to Simpson before I became the head football coach here, so I had to sell them on me and the vision of what we're trying to do here. And some of those guys, they stayed. A lot of those guys stayed and bought into it, and we're in the position where we are today because of those 28 seniors, their leadership, their tenacity, and their work ethic. So they're going to leave a footprint on the Simpson football program for years to come because of what they brought to the program, and I love them. I'm proud of those guys.
All right, Coach, looking forward to the game Saturday. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, kickoff set for 1 o'clock. You can catch the game online, simpsonathletics.com, where Tim Lone and Paul Davis will have the call on the video stream.